Vibe Show 97.9. Man, it is going down. We have a exclusive lineup for y'all tonight. I've been waiting on this one. A lot of fans been waiting on this one too. So listen, we're getting ready to deliver. Make sure you keep your popcorn ready, get your drinks ready, because we're getting ready to have an explosive night. Y'all keep it locked in. It's the Vibe Show 97.9. Vibe Show live from your host, Kano the Don, the Vibe King, and y'all already know it's big vibes. Y'all gotta excuse my voice. I am a little under the weather, a little bit, but you know what? I'm here. That does not detour. The show must go on. Tonight we have a super special guest joining us on the show tonight. Really, really excited about this one here. A lot of people, a lot of emails been coming in. A lot of people been waiting on this one. It's anticipated. I'm talking about award-winning actress, director, and producer. Listen, guys, this queen wears multiple hats, man. I'm talking about, and she's juggling it all, doing her thing. I'm super excited. I'm talking about the one, the only Malika Blessing. Blessing now. Let me get her in here because she already checked me in the green room. It's not blessings, guys. My team dropped the ball on that one. But it's Malika Blessings. Let's get her in here. Super, super, super.
Hello, hello, hello. Woo, woo, woo. Thank you so much for having me. Look, it's okay. I always say when I see the S in the plural, that means that I'm a blessing with an S instead of
Amen.
P.
Amen. Amen. Look,
Okay?
not a bad era now. Not too
Right.
bad.
Not at all.
Oh
Not
my
at all.
God.
I'm grateful.
Yes.
I'm grateful to be here.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today. With everything that you have going on. So for me and the team, we definitely want to say thank you so much for taking time to hang out with us for a little while.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the graphics,
Now,
okay. I love the graphics.
oh, thank you so much. We tried now. I see
Yeah.
what you got going on, and we try to make sure we try to match those standards now. We want to make what to put a smile on your face, make sure we put out some elite promo stuff. The pictures were
Yes.
absolutely amazing, which really did make it, hard for us because one thing, man, I don't know in this game, a lot of people in this entertainment business that we're in, I don't understand why people don't take the time to
Mhm.
update their photos and they send over camera phone pictures and I mean like I
Mhm.
don't know. What's your take on that before we dive in? Like, as far as professionalism and understanding that, you always want to your presentation, the way you present yourself is,
I mean,
is important.
you are you are your brand. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So and then we are constantly evolving. So as we
Right.
evolve, we have to update. And
Right.
as we update, we want to make sure that we're relevant to what the time is. You know what I mean? And so
Absolutely.
you just have to I'm constantly like people always say I'm like a chameleon because I have all these different looks. I have like I'm rocking the braids right now, but then I'll have the short cut, and then I have the curly
Right.
look and the straight. So you want to
Right.
make sure that you're representing yourself in a way where you look current, uh,
Right.
but in a professional way. Is we have to get out of that mindset that just easing by. It's not about
Right.
mediocrity. It's always moving in excellence, and that's just who I am and how I move. So
Absolutely, definitely setting a great example for a lot of folks out there, people that's actually paying attention. You definitely an inspiration to so many different queens and a lot of people who are more inspiring to get in this game. So we definitely want to give you your flowers by bringing you on the show, just so we can enlighten a lot of people and allow people to get some of that behind the scenes on your
yeah.
journey, because you definitely have an amazing story. So I definitely want to start off from Oakland, California, though.
Hmm.
You're native there, very, very rich soil. Tell us a little bit about, what it was like growing up in Oakland, California.
Man, my parents grew up in Richmond, California. And
Mhm.
so we have a pretty big family. My father, he was the first Black family to live in the Richmond Hills.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, so we have some history there of my father being raised in the hills and having to deal with being the only Black family that lived in the hills and what all he went through. So he always would tell me stories of just what he had to go through all the time. And he was a sports guy. He played basketball, and him and my mom met when they were 12, and then later on eventually married around 18. So I always had that nurture and that bond between my parents. You know what I mean? And then
Right.
they divorced when I was 4, and I went to a private school all my life. So I went from elementary all the way to high school. I
Oh,
graduated from
wow.
Joseph Notre Dame High School in Alameda. I went to school with Jason Kidd.
What?
That was our life. Was Jason Kidd was basketball, and what's so funny? I played basketball all 4 years in high school. All 4 years I played
Really?
basketball in high school, but we didn't have a football team, so everything was surrounded around Jason Kidd and what he was doing.
Basketball.
We would play where the Warriors played at the Coliseum, and you know what I mean. But I
Right.
always had this burning desire to act. Like I I fell in love with it so early on, and my inspiration came from watching Diana Ross and Lady Sings the Blues first. My mom was watching it,
Mhm.
and my mom said I was mesmerized at a young age of her in this character, not even really knowing, what was it
Who she
all
was.
about.
Right.
Yeah, she said I was mesmerized. And then I used to watch Three's Company, and she said
Oh,
I
I
used to,
love that show.
mommy, I want to watch Jack. you know, then it was the Jeffersons, and I just fell in love. And so funny is that in high school, I never did the high school plays. I thought it was corny. So I never really
Really?
did the high school plays, but I always directed and starred in the skits for Spirit Week, Homecoming. I was always that go-to girl. I would be the one in my projects instead of doing a presentation in class. I would actually have a short film and do the presentation as a short film and present it to the class. So I always had that mindset, really not knowing at the time, but
Right.
eventually saying, hey, this is what I want to do. So then my mom put me in Shakespeare classes, and I was talking in class or doing something, and she told me, she said, I'm going to take your acting Shakespeare class away. And she said, I said that it was going to hurt my heart if she did that. So she knew
Right.
that that was my thing. You know what I
Right.
mean? Yeah. So she
Right.
knew that
So
that
they
was,
saw that in you.
yeah. Yeah. She
You
said,
know
my
what?
teeth.
You know
Go
what's
ahead.
interesting about that though? Sorry to cut you off. You
No, no,
know what's
no.
interesting about that is you were inspired, not even knowing you were being inspired.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. And you were inspired at a very, very, very young age
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. My
Wow.
mom even when I started reading and when I was in school, that the teachers always told her that I read with expression, and that
Hmm.
I always was antsy about wanting to read out loud. And I used to tell
Right.
my mom said I would tell her, Mommy, they don't read like I do. Like I don't, is born when they read, and I was just so antsy to read. So she knew that it kept coming back. And I did everything. I did ballet. I was on a double dutch team and I was good. And
Right.
but the only thing I stuck to was the acting. The only thing that I
Really.
was just like, I had to do it. And my dad got me a camera, a video camera to shoot, because I would always do the home videos with the family and do skits and want to videotape it. So I always had that in me, and I really didn't know at the time. It was just I
Right.
was creative. I was an artist.
Right, right. You know what's crazy? You know, when we were young, like we were doing a lot of things. You had a video cameras and stuff, as technology and things were
Mm-hmm.
evolving, we were actually filming and taking pictures and inspiring, throwing parties. A lot of us were party hosts, didn't even know it.
Yep.
When you look back at our childhood, and just speaking of those times too, want to sit there for a minute too, coming from those times and looking at today's trajectory though. Like let's touch on that a little bit, because you've been around just as long as me, and we've seen the world evolve.
Mm-hmm.
Just would like to get your take on from then and now, your feelings on the state of where we're at right now.
Back then we were playing outside, not
Right.
having to worry about anything. Uh, I remember, as long as I came in, when the lights came on, when the street light came on, you know what I mean?
Right.
Um, it was so different. Like I remember family time. My
Hmm.
dad used to take us to eat every Friday, and we would go to Denny's every
Right.
Friday. And then once a month, we would go to Sizzler. But every Friday, we went to Denny's. And I was so embarrassed because I was like, we were going to Denny's and everyone knew us there at Denny's. And then now I'm looking back and I'm like, wow, I didn't realize how important that was, family time, because my son, he's 14, he's always want to be on the game. Then of course
Exactly.
I'm busy, you know what I mean, and trying to do
Exactly.
things, and we're not sitting at the table like we used to. I mean, we had to sit at the table and eat, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then we had that
Absolutely.
time. That was a must. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow, I didn't even realize what he was teaching me back then and having me
Hmm.
experience about family, togetherness, and being a unit. You know, um,
Absolutely.
for
Absolutely.
Halloween, they would do the haunted house, and people would come over to our house, and we were in. It was just so much interaction with the neighborhood. We were all coming together. Where
Exactly.
now it's like you scared, and if the candy is tainted, or if someone has a mask on and someone may get hurt, and I'm
All
scared with my
right.
son. Like I'm driving in the car following him because he wants to be with his friends when he go trick-or-treating, where we were able to
Right.
just go in the neighborhood and just go and have fun and have people come to the house.
Exactly. Exactly.
We
We used to get dropped off at the show, and
Yeah.
parents got together. We had sleepovers and stuff like that. This parent was on the phone with that parent. Like
Yep.
it's just crazy. Like when you think about it, because when I look back, it makes me value like actually being able to have a childhood. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because now I feel like our kids are kind of being robbed of that now, because it is a lot of they're being exposed to so many things that we wasn't
Mm-hmm.
exposed to. Like
Mm.
you were saying, we actually had that physical interaction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like now, they don't really want to go outside. They just want to either play on the game, or they either on their phone, or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. And it kind of and to me, I feel like it kind of takes away from the kids wanting to have that physical interaction, because everything is texting now, or nobody wants to actually get on the phone and talk anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, I value and appreciate looking back as well too.
And you know what? Even the parenting is different because
Oh my God.
like I'm old school because how my parents were, So
Right.
when my son's Nehemiah, and when he wants to go hang out with a friend, or it's like the kids are talking, and I'm like, no, I need to talk to their parent, and I need to
Thank
make
you.
sure
Facts.
that it's okay. I don't plan things through children.
Facts.
And the parent will not call me or not say anything. They're like, oh, can I go to such and such house? No, I need to
Right.
talk to the parent. And then if they coming to pick you up, I need your license plate. I need to go by your house. I need to see where my son is going to be staying at. I need to,
Absolutely.
it's so different now. Sometimes they'll just drop their kid off. No, I need to talk to your parent.
Right. Not
And
even
I'm
trying to meet you.
responsible.
Don't know what type of parent you are or anything. Don't know what's
Right.
going on.
I'm
Yeah.
responsible for you. And then I even told Nehemiah, I said, baby, when they're in my custody, I'm responsible for them. So their parent, I need to know who they are, what they look like, what they drive. And that way, the same with me, if they come
Right.
over here,
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's it's weird. I was telling my mom, I said, Mom, it's so weird. I said they schedule things through the kids instead
Yeah.
of the parents.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm with you. I'm with you 100% on that. It's funny because we were having a show. We had a show I was on. I got invited to come on Night Vibes, and
Mhm.
one of the topics, one of the questions I was asked was, do I feel like old school values still hold up in today's time? And I I'm a strong believer. I do feel like those old values still hold up. For the people who actually care. I still
Right.
utilize a lot of those values that I didn't understand then or appreciate then. I find myself using those values and tools that were being implemented, on me and my siblings, on my
Hmm.
kids, and on somebody else's kids too, because there's some
Hmm.
things I just don't understand.
Hmm. Hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, I totally
Right.
agree.
So now, no, let's go back to college, because you are. Let's get this straight now. You are a Delta Sigma Theta. Let's
All
talk
day.
about yes. Let's talk about that because that's pretty big. What inspired you to want to actually join?
Well, my godmother, I went to Grambling State University, GSU.
I
Thought
know
you.
I was gonna ask you about that. That's my neck of the woods right there.
Yeah.
I went to SU.
Okay.
We was
Okay.
battling it out. You know that.
Yes. Yes. So I went to Grambling State University, and my godmother was just everything was about Grambling. Like she wanted me to go to
Mhm.
Grambling. At first, I wanted to go to Spelman.
Right,
And for some reason, when I went to go see my high school counselor, I don't know how, but I had Grambling as my first choice of the college I wanted to go to, even though I was focused on Spelman. So I told my
right,
mom, I said, well, since I had Grambling down, I that's the only school I want to apply to. So she was like, are you
right,
sure you don't apply to any other school? I said, no, that's the school I want to go to. That's the school I'm going to apply to. And my godmother, she would talk about Grambling so much and being a Delta so much. She was just like,
hmm,
you're going to be a Delta. You're a Delta material. You're going to be a Delta. So then once I got to Grambling, I was heavily in the theater department, but I always was still attracted to the Greek life. You know what I mean?
right, right,
And I just the deltas were just so like I am a woman of service, and I used to see how they were a organization of service, and just what they always would do on the campus, and how they would have outreach, and how
right,
they were so dope. You know what I mean? But it was
right.
outside of them being dope. It was the things that they were doing that I naturally did anyway. You know what I mean? So when it was
Ah,
time for, if how many community service letters and things like that, I had a variety of them because I was already doing it. So I knew that that was the organization that I needed to be a part of, and that I knew that I would be an asset to them as well. But it was just like, that Crimson and Cream, and just how they were. I yearned for it. and I actually pledged in graduate chapter because undergrad I was so busy doing theater and traveling
Right.
and being chosen to do competitions. And so around the times that they were even I still pledged at Grambling, the alumni
Mm.
chapter, but my undergrad I would always miss it because I was doing so much in theater, and that
Right.
was my first love. So I knew I was like, okay, I definitely am gonna have an opportunity. If it's meant to be, God knows the desires of my heart, it's gonna happen. And it did. And I crossed
Right.
over in
Right.
2002.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. We got to go to a little commercial break. We got to pay some bills. Guys, make sure y'all stay locked in. We'll be back with more. Malika Blessing. Keep it locked in. It's the Vibe Show.
Indelible. Sit if you dare to indulge in the unforgettable. Sit if you have the audacity to make a statement. Sit if you aspire to leave a lasting impression. Sip a wine that raises a glass to you. Indelible by Adina Howard. Salute.
Vibe Show. We back with the one and only Malika Blessing. Now, let me ask you this. Shout out to the one and only Adina Howard as well, too. That's my friend there doing major things. She's still rocking and rolling. We love her. Now I gotta ask you this.
Hmm.
Do you think that that helped shape you into your adult journey, being a part of the sorority?
Absolutely, because it was so many women that I saw and that inspired me.
Mm.
Especially in Grambling, it was the VP of student affairs and the mayor or the president, the interim president, and one of my mentors who was a professor at Grambling. And seeing her strength and all the things that she did, like I had so many women that inspired me that
Right.
were deltas. Even the young lady that not young lady, but the lady who wrote my Delta letter. She was one of the founders on Grambling campus, and she didn't write many letters. And when it was time for me to cross, she hadn't wrote anyone letter, and she wrote my letter, and she told me she was going to write it versus
Mm.
me asking her to write it.
Wow.
She said, "You are a Delta woman," and I was so honored that she even came to me because everyone's like, how'd you get her to write your letter?
Right.
you
Right.
know, just favor from God of just being who I am. I would go and check on her. If I would go to the store, I would go grocery shopping for her. And not because she was a Delta, just because she was my senior and she needed help. You know what I mean? And so I would go and call and check on her. And she said, "You're gonna be a Delta. And when it's time, I'm gonna write your letter." And she was saying it, but I was busy in undergrad. So when it was time and she saw me at the rush and she said, "And I'll be writing your letter." And I was like, thank you. So it's so many women that inspired me, just seeing who they were and just a boss. And what we kind of talked about before we got on air of being able to juggle, you know what I mean, and be in these boss roles and doing it with ease and effortlessly. And
Right.
that's kind of who I am and my makeup and who I am. So that's it. Definitely shaped me. A part of that, yeah, definitely.
Right. And that's something else too, because being in the entertainment business, it can be rough. You know what I mean? Because schedules, having to be in multiple places, you know, at one time, so at sometimes, this business that we in, it's not, as easy as people think it is. And learning that balance, what would you say um was the point where, because you wear multiple hats, so many multiple hats, you're directing, you're producing, you're actually, you're starring and stuff, you're hosting this event, or you're actually putting on your own events, always celebrating people, and giving people their flowers and stuff like that, which I
Mm-hmm.
definitely admire that about you. But
Mm-hmm.
talk to me about balancing, though. How do you balance it all without going under?
I honestly believe that it's God given, because a lot of times I'm surprised
Right,
of how I'm balancing it all, especially
right.
when I became a parent. It was
Yeah,
hard.
yes.
It was really hard because you have that guilt of, excuse me, of not being available,
Right,
and having to follow your dream, and also having to have like, my best friend is my ride or die, Tiffany, Rebecca Royale. Man, she's my ride or die. She helps me with this, with my son, my mother. She helps me as well, having that support system. But I am very meticulous. I'm very organized. So I know how to prioritize in order of
right,
what needs to be taken care of. So I'm a scheduler. I schedule everything, right?
right,
So
right,
if I'm doing something production wise, if I'm doing something acting wise at the same time, if I have to do something with my son Nehemiah, I put it in order where, okay, I'll spend this time on production for an hour. Okay, I have
right,
this meeting at this time. So then I know that, okay, before this meeting, then I can spend an hour and study for an audition that I have to do. And then after that meeting, then I know I have to make a phone call for the producing. And then, okay, then I have to pick up Nehemiah from school. So when I get done with that, so I schedule everything. I have to.
right,
I
right.
literally have to schedule everything in order to balance out. But I work well under pressure. Like,
Mm,
when I'm
okay.
juggling multiple things, I know how to, no one would never know that I'm putting out a fire, that something went wrong. I smile through it all. I take
Right,
care of, because I always, one thing my dad always taught me is to have a plan A, a plan B, a plan C. So I'm always 10 steps ahead of
right,
what's
right.
happening. Always think ahead. Okay, if this happened, I'm ready for this. I'm prepared for this. So that's a part of preparation. I'm always
Mm,
making sure that I'm ahead of the game, especially a lot of people that don't know, but I work for Michael Collier and I run his company, and he's a legend comedian, and he's, been in his business forever. And we're constantly doing things constantly. Like, he's traveling,
absolutely.
he's doing concerts, he's doing movies, he's doing TV, he's doing his own comedy specials and things like that, on top of me acting and being a mother
Right,
and producing. So I have to put everything in order. And just to give you an example, my third season of Wicked City, on a show called Wicked City, it's on All Blacks. We have 3 seasons, so y'all need to check me out.
super
I
dope.
play Caden, and we were preparing Michael's King of Venice Beach comedy special when we were
Right,
filming on Venice Beach with 7 cameras, drone, everything, right?
right,
So in between me filming Wicked City, and I'm one of the leads, I'm a series regular,
right,
I am scheduling in between set to make sure that everything is in alignment and is taken care of and it's done. So once I get my schedule, then I was able to schedule everything else accordingly to make sure that everything was done. Because when I wrapped, we went right into filming The King of Venice Beach, and
Right.
nothing missed. You know what I
Wow.
mean? Nothing
Wow.
missed.
Yeah.
Nothing missed
Wow.
because of how organized I was in scheduling and prioritizing and say, okay, then on my day off of Wicked City, I can take care of this.
Mm.
You know, if there was something I had to take care of doing Wicked City, then it was okay when I break and I have that lunch. Sometimes I wouldn't have my lunch. I'd be in my trailer, I'd be working.
Right. Right. What do you think has been the hardest sacrifice you've had to make?
Disappointing my son of not of working so much. And I'm a single mom. You know,
Right.
his father and I divorced when he was 2. So sometimes having to leave, and sometimes I'm gone for 3-4 months,
Right.
and having to rely on my best friend and my mom and my support system and my aunt Penny to help with him, and hoping that he understands and knows that I love him, and this is just mommy's job, and this
Right.
is what she does, and mommy don't have a regular 9 to 5. And when I realized he understood and that God blessed me with him,
Mm-hmm.
as I was I believe it was either second season or third season, and in between I would contact him and like, okay, we got to go over your spelling words and we have to do this, and doing the homework, and
Right.
I wanted to still have that. And he said, Mom, you need to concentrate on your lines and at work. I got it.
Wow.
And I just was like, okay. And my mom said, God blessed you with your son who understands. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Not
he
having that
doesn't,
resentment, but really
yeah,
understanding
he
and
doesn't
embodying
have
that
it.
you're doing it too for the family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's dope. That's
When
dope,
he
Malika.
said
I ain't
that
gonna
to
lie.
me, when he said that to me, I'm not gonna lie, man. I broke. He was like, "No, mom, you need to concentrate on your lines." He said, "I'll talk to my babysitter or my aunt. They will help me. I got it." He was like, "You at work and you need to concentrate on that." And I was like, "Wow." I was like, "Thank you, God. Thank you, God."
Right.
What I don't do is his birthdays. I don't sacrifice that. His
Right.
birthdays, I will not miss his birthday. Like, I literally was filming. It was 2 years ago. I was filming. I had to fly on the red eye, come back home to Los Angeles, do Nehemiah's birthday party, and then fly out the next day. And I told him I would not miss my son's birthday. Now, that's the one thing consistently that he can
Mm-hmm.
say. My mom worked, but she never missed my birthday. And it's always grand. It's big. You know what I mean? Like, that's the one
Right.
thing I want him to always remember. My mom always made sure that she was here for my birthday.
I love it. What
And okay, you can hear me. Okay.
no, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Oh,
Yes,
no, no, no.
I definitely hear
You
you.
can hear me. Yeah. Yeah.
Has
Yeah.
he
Thank
got
you for
bitten by the
bringing that up.
bug?
Huh?
Absolutely, absolutely. We have to. That it's just it's so important because, like I said, you know, you're an inspiration to so many different people. So even when you don't even really realize, people are watching. People
Yeah.
watching the way that and people know that you're a mother. A lot of
Yeah.
people, and for the ones that don't, they know now.
Yeah.
And like for all of the inspiring people as well who just don't have the answers because everybody is shaking and baking and moving around and stuff like that. And I don't feel like people should put their dreams to the side. I think that we miss out on a lot of things because we do feel like we can't juggle,
Yeah.
especially if you don't have somebody that you're connected to that you can see visually that's actually doing it because we
Yeah.
draw inspiration from each other. We draw inspiration from people that inspire us or whatever. So
Yeah.
you inspire so many different women, and I just felt like that was important to touch on that because I pay attention to that as well, and I see
Yeah.
everything that you have going on, and it's an inspiration to me as well. So, I just felt like it was important to
No,
touch
I
on that.
appreciate that. And I just want to say to your listeners and viewers that are watching that I was afraid at first. when
Right,
when I got pregnant and I was like, how am I gonna do this? How am I
right,
going to pursue my dream and
right,
be a mom? And how am I gonna do it? And my
right,
mom said, I will never put more on you than you can bear and what you can handle. And he knows your desires in your heart and he knows what you need. And and you have to trust that. And I was so driven. Like I just, when I first came to LA, I was like, I'm gonna have a sitcom, I'm gonna have this, and of course,
right,
every change is like, oh, okay, it's reality. All right. So let me, get into the behind the scenes as well while I'm auditioning. But I was so nervous and I want your listeners to understand that I was nervous. I was scared. However,
right.
my foundation in God and knowing that you gave me this gift, I didn't ask for it. So
Hmm.
because you gave me this, and because I had the faith and saying that I know God gonna work it out, like I
Right,
can't stop. I cannot stop because if I stop, what am I teaching him? You know what I mean?
right,
Uh, to
right.
pursue and to pursue my career. And literally 3 weeks after I gave birth, I was in rehearsals. I was
Wow.
doing a musical, and I had to learn a dance, 7 dance routines, and it was set in the 20s.
Oh, wow.
And my sister, my youngest sister, came down and she helped me with him. But I was like, I can't, I couldn't give it up. You know what I mean? Like I was just like, I gotta do it. You know what I mean? Like because I said if I don't start now with understanding those sacrifice, then
Yeah.
I will allow it to be an excuse every time. So
Every
when
time.
I was approached with it, I was like, okay, I'll be ready.
Right.
And 3 weeks after I gave birth, I was in rehearsal.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Let
it's
me
been
ask you,
nonstop.
let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Being in the business as long as you've been in the game, coming in bright-eyed, um, you know, somewhat fairly green in the entertainment business. Um, from then and now, acquiring all of the knowledge that you've acquired, tell me, tell me how you feel about the entertainment business now at this point of the journey because you've seen a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Is it still what you thought it was coming in all bright-eyed and all the lights? Oh my, I want
No.
you. Okay,
No.
talk to me. Talk
It-
to me.
when I first when I first started, I had my first taste of being fired and not knowing it. I was fresh out of coming from grad school, and I went to the corporate world, and I had originated a piece of play with this a writer.
Right,
And those who don't know, originating a piece is when you are the very first person who does the role, you act out the role. So when the script is given to another production in order for them to do, your name is in that script as being the first person who ever did the role. So I originated this role and this character. And
right,
I remember I was so excited, and then I had got a phone call that he said, "Oh, I'm gonna do this play, and but I have celebrities that are gonna be in the play."
right,
And
right,
it was Ella Joyce from Rock. It was Lauren Hilton Jacob. It was and the director was Woody King Jr. Rest in peace. He just passed away of the New Federal Theater in New York. And so I'm like, oh, I'm excited, man. I get to work with Ella Joyce and Lordson Jacob
Right.
and be
Right.
directed by, Woody King Jr. Oh
Yeah.
man, okay, I'm excited. So then from there, I find out that he hired a celebrity to play my role. I won't say the name. He hired a celebrity to play my role. And I was just like, what happened? I
Right.
didn't, but I was so green that I probably would have responded different now, but
Yeah,
because
of
I was so green,
course.
you know what I mean? And then
Right.
he, in the same breath, he said, can you stage manage it?
Are you serious?
I swear. He said, can you stage manage? And I said, yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, it'll give me an opportunity to work under Woody King Jr. You know what I
Right.
mean? But I needed to do that because then I gained a relationship that I hold so dear to my heart where Ella Joyce took me under her wings and she
Mhm.
was my mentor and I learned the business
Yeah.
of show business,
Mm-hmm.
of what that was. Because I just was like, like I said, when I first came in, I thought I was going to go right and have my sitcom. Because when I was in
Right.
college, I always got the starring roles. I always, if we did a film or a short, I was the one that got the starring role. I was
Mm-hmm.
always popular. I would invite the president of the university to the plays. And then our football coach Doug Williams, I would invite him
Oh,
to the
Doug
plays because I
Williams.
knew that if I had him, it would sell out. So
Right.
at the time, I had producer mentality, really didn't know it, but I knew that I knew how to navigate to sell out shows or to do something. So I always had favors. So I'm like, oh shoot. But it was different. No, baby, everybody want to be an
Right.
actor.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? You got to put in work. You know,
Right.
those who in the beginning I didn't understand. Everybody has their own journey. I just I,
Right.
I didn't understand it at first. So then when I started doing behind the scenes, producing, production stage managing, directing, and I will put so many people on and excited about it. I love to see people win. So I would see something in someone and like, man, you would be great for this. Even
Mm-hmm.
if it mean for me to come in the back burner and say,
Yeah.
sometimes I can read a script and someone will send it to me and I'm like, it's not for me, it's for such and such. And so many people
Right.
like, man, Nico, why do you do that? You have to learn how to put yourself first. And I'm like, I'm just a firm believer on what's for me is for me. What God has for me, He has for me. So if it's
Amen.
in my spirit, in my gut, that this is not for me, this is for somebody else, that's who it's for.
Let me
You
ask
know?
you this. I like that. Right there where you at right there. I like that. Now, do you think to see that's a rarity in this business? You see
Yeah.
that response that you got? That's a rarity in this business. Even on my side.
Yeah.
Why do you think that it's like that? You think that it's a mentality that's taught that we have to be like that in order to be successful? Because I was gonna ask you that, and it's funny you tapped on that
Mm-hmm.
because it seems like us, we don't want to see us win.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? Talk to
Mm-mm.
me. I know you see that.
It's because a lot of times so many people are so jealous
Right,
and they see your light, they
right.
see you shine, and they don't understand that we all can win. You know what I mean?
We
Like
all can win.
God gave all of us gifts. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He gave all of us this. Everyone has their intuitive gift that they have,
Mhm.
and God has given us that. That what's for you, can't nobody take it from you.
Facts.
So then I used to feel like, why is God blessing so many people through me
Hmm.
where I'm happy to see them win. I'm happy to see them booking. I'm happy to see them got series regular. I'm happy to see them that, you know, they got cast in something, or I saw a talent in them and I'm like, man, you gonna make it. You got it. You got
Right.
it.
Right.
And then like, God, well, when is it gonna be my turn? Like,
Mm,
you know, I'm happy for them. I'm praying for people. Like,
right.
I'm praying for their opportunities and for them to grow and for them to be in a position where they get in favor. And I'm like,
Right.
God, when is it gonna be me? When is it gonna be my turn? And then
Mm.
finally, it finally comes. God says, that ain't your journey. That's not
Uh-oh.
your journey. What I have for
Uh-oh.
you is what I have for you. My
Mhm.
journey is going through producing and knowing the business. So when I did have a TV show, I was able to understand what that contract was.
You was
I was able
prepared.
to talk to my fellow castmate on certain things when it came to the business. I was able to understand when things wasn't always right on set, but giving my people grace
Mm-hmm.
because I've been there. So everything is a learning experience. And when people
Mm.
understand everything is a learning experience and find the positivity out of even the negative of something that
Wow.
doesn't go your way, find the positivity out of that. I'm like, okay, God, what did I learn from that? How can I move forward? How can I move better? Or how can I inspire somebody else so they don't have to go through that?
Now,
But we're so
Malika,
scared. We're so scared that
that
someone
conditioning,
is
you
going to
you
surpass.
you hitting
Sorry.
some real strong stuff. No, I'm sorry. You hitting some
Yeah.
real strong stuff because that point you just said right there, conditioning, even understanding and being happy in a negative. I just can't let you run past that. Can
Yeah.
you dive on that? Because I feel like that's important because a lot of us don't understand how to
Mm-hmm.
do that. Touch on that for
Yeah.
me, please.
You when something a friend of mine just the other day, she was so disappointed that she didn't get this position, right?
Right.
And I said, but look how God put you in a position to elevate, to
Mhm.
even interview for that position
Right.
that you didn't before, right?
Wow.
So it's
Mhm.
not a negative thing. We need to celebrate because when one door closes, another one opens. So whatever
Well,
you needed to learn from this part of your elevation in this moment, in this time, is what is going to propel you for what God already has for you. Because He know when He formed you in your mother womb, what you was going to be going through today, this day. Like He
come on.
already, what's already happening.
Come on.
So don't be upset. Don't be upset. We need to celebrate. Because now I'm excited of what God is getting ready to do.
Right.
Okay, God, I see you. So when
Right.
something happens is negative, or attack of the enemy tries to come against me and my spirit, my soul, my mind, and this, and then I'm like, okay, what did I learn from that? What can I get from that? How can I turn that to positive? Uh, okay, let me see what I learned from that. And I have to stop and do a personal inventory. And now I'm
Mhm.
human. I'm not gonna say that I don't have feelings. Yeah,
Right.
I do.
Absolutely.
And then I let it roll off. I don't soak in nothing more than a day.
Right.
And usually hours. Because
Right.
I'm human. I have feelings. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But then I
Mhm.
say, God, I thank you. I thank you for the opportunity. I thank you for blessing me. I thank you for putting me in position. And so I start thanking God for what I do have.
Right.
Okay. What I
Right. We
do
can
have.
never stop that. Yeah.
Right. Thank you, God. Uh it's been a lot of times, but I walk by faith. Like seriously.
Mhm.
I move in faith. I trust God. I'm like, it's been times, and this is real talk. It's been times, this is an up and down situation. This business is up and down. Especially I
Absolutely.
blessed to only do this. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I didn't have, once I got to LA, this is all I was doing. So I didn't have a 9 to 5. I've been blessed to do the behind the scene and do different things and stuff like that. But it was during that COVID time.
Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you, it was a struggle. Okay.
Right.
where
Right.
I didn't know where nothing was coming from. And I'm like, oh Lord, I'm gonna have to go get a 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? Just to which is not wrong. There's nothing wrong with that, because some people have to do that. It's
Right.
just my journey was God had me, what allowed me to be able to do behind the scenes, produce,
Yeah.
stage manage, direct, to do those type of things. And
Right.
let me just say this. I start getting comfortable with it because I didn't have to worry about rejection. So I
Ooh.
wasn't pushing myself at times to acting because of the rejection of it. I knew as a producer, as a director, as a stage manager, because I move in excellence and how I take care
Mhm.
of people, that I was valued.
Right. And a lot of people don't even know because everybody want to be in the front all the time.
Yeah.
Don't know that some of the biggest checks are behind the scenes.
Are behind the scenes.
You wouldn't have even knew because that's that consistent. Like you
Yeah.
say, I ain't gotta get fired. I ain't gotta, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I'm kind of controlling and instrumentating things. Mo- I like that. A
Yeah.
lot of people don't know that. Sometimes you
Yeah.
ain't gotta be in the light and still
Yeah.
be in the light.
Yeah.
I love that.
But the to touch on that is knowing that and believing and trusting that you're enough. So
Ooh.
I was like, okay, well, this is guaranteed because
Mhm.
I'm making other people succeed. Because
Exactly.
as I'm producing them, they're elevating, they're
Yeah.
succeeding. But then the insecurity of, I don't got to worry about rejection. I don't have to
Uh,
worry about the audition process of, I don't look a certain way, my weight a certain way, I'm too
uh-huh.
fat, I'm too
Right.
this. I don't have to worry about that. I have control over it. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? By doing behind the scenes. So then I had to check myself. Okay. Had to
Mhm.
check myself of like, you came here to act.
Mhm.
Don't get caught up because you don't want to deal with rejection.
Right.
That's a part of it.
Right.
God gave you the gift. So once I let go of that and said, you know what? I came here for that. Now I'm in position where I can pick and choose what I produce so I can put my emphasis on why I even came in the first place. And I was acting, and then
Mhm.
doors started opening because I wasn't limiting myself.
Right. I love that.
So,
That's
um,
that's that's so dope. That's so dope. The confidence,
yeah.
um, being able to acquire so much knowledge. What would you say? Because you're connected and around so many different influential people. What would you say from the beginning of your journey to now was some of the most valuable information that was told to you that you held on to even to this day?
Well, one of the biggest thing is treat people how you want to be treated. You
Mhm.
never know who someone is, and that grip, that janitor, that PA, you treat them with respect
Right.
because you never know who that person may be, because we all have dreams and we all may start in a different area in our dreams,
Hmm.
that people will never forget how you treated them. That's the one of the biggest lessons Ella Joyce taught me. Always treat everybody with respect. Treat people how you want to be treated. Thank everybody for coming to set. When I was doing Wicked City, the young lady that would put my tape down for my mark. Thank
Right.
you, man. I appreciate you what you're doing there, because if I didn't have that mark, I wouldn't know what I'm doing and where I'm going, and I appreciate you for that.
Right.
My PAs, my assistant, whatever. I appreciate you for that. That's the biggest thing. Because sometimes when we start elevating,
Hmm.
we get big headed.
Hmm.
We forget where we came from. We forget our roots, and we forget how to just be kind and
Oh my
to
God.
treat people how you want to be treated. Like, why are you going to look down on somebody or treat them a certain way when you felt that same way? We all cycle. Everyone has
Right.
to go through that cycle of, that was one thing my other mentor told me. She says a lot of times when I'm auditioning, sometimes they go with what they call a celebrity or a name over me. And
Right.
she said, everybody has to go through that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has to. It's going to be your turn where it's going to be another young lady that's going to be coming up. And
Right.
they're not going to get the job because they hired Malika Blessing over them.
Mm-hmm.
So you have
Nobody
to
just
understand.
propels to the top.
Right. So you have to
Everybody
understand
got to go
the
through the
stages.
steps.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, I
You got
get
to
that. I
understand
like
the
that.
stages and where you at.
That is
And
so
where,
true. Because on the way down, you want to on the way down got to be pleasant too. And the way
yeah,
you treat people on the way going up
yeah,
is going to be very, very vital to that part where because we got to come down.
yeah.
Nobody stay at the top.
No.
And then you come down, you mistreated so many different people.
Yeah.
You don't have no support.
Yeah. Then
Nobody
people don't
want
want
to
to
work
work
with you.
because you're difficult, because you this, because you that. You know what I mean? You have to remain humble. You have to remain humble when you're in this
Right.
business because it's a doggy dog world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when you're being catered to, when you're being you know, hair and makeup and making sure your nails and your clothes and and you like this and they're taking care of you. You have somebody holding your script and you're reading and you're doing this and they're just at your beck and call. And it's
Right.
like, thank you, but
Right.
don't get it twisted
Right.
that you treat them disrespectfully on the way.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
That is so real.
But then
I
also,
love
yeah, but also making sure you uh uh I don't want to use the word demand, but I will be respected. So it's certain things that now learning from when I was green before, that there's certain things I just won't tolerate a disrespect. You know what I mean? So you have to know
yeah.
how to balance that where you're not considered a B or this or that. You just move in excellence. So because you move in excellence and because of how you move, that
Hmm.
this is what I expect. You know what I mean? And so
Right.
if I'm not receiving that, how can I help you get to that spot? How can I help you get to that space? So a lot of times, if I do independent projects or someone who doesn't have funding of what I'm used to or able to pay, once I accept it, you get in my all. That's another
Right.
thing.
Right.
Once I accept it, you getting the same amount as if I was getting my rate.
Right.
Because always remember too, for your listeners, it's the whole, especially those in acting, always know why you're choosing the project. Sometimes it could be it's a role you want to do that you haven't tried. Maybe it's an
Right.
opportunity to lead. Maybe it's an opportunity to work with someone. Maybe it's an opportunity to be directed by someone. Maybe it's the production company that you want to work for, that you've been watching their films or whatever. Always know why you're doing it and what you're going to get out of it. And sometimes it's not always monetary.
Hmm.
Sometimes it could be you need footage. Sometimes
Right.
it can be, a relationship you're supposed to gain out of that from networking and being able to be close to that person. You
Right.
never know what that opportunity is, as long as you know why you're doing it. You got to
Yeah.
know why you're doing it. When I read a script and I'm like, oh, I want to do this because I never did this role before. I never did this before. So I don't care what the rate is. I just want to do it.
Right.
It's okay.
Right. Wow.
It's okay.
I love that. I'm not gonna lie. I can talk to you all day. Like it's so we gotta do it. You know we gotta do a part two. You already
Okay.
know this already.
Yeah.
Share with us really quick on some of the up and coming things that you got going on that we can look forward to looking for.
Yeah, I have a film that was at a Pan African Film Festival called On Paper. It'll be coming out. Actually, it's doing a couple of film festival circuits, but it'll be coming out soon. So if you follow me on social media. Actress Malika Blessing, Malika Blessing. I always have updates. I'm also a part of a project, just got back from New Orleans, where we premiere a TV series called The Kiosk. That's going to be coming out. Matter of fact, May 5th, the pilot will be coming out on Amazon Prime, called The Kiosk.
Okay.
And that's really, really good. I just finished a play. I'm constantly doing theater, constantly just sharpening up my skills and stuff like that. You can always, of course, watch all 3 seasons of Wicked City on
Yeah.
All Black, on Amazon, on Tubi now. And then I am pitching a Christmas movie
Okay.
right that I'm super excited about. I'm
Well, you
so
got to
excited.
send me a script or two now. Now I'm about to get up on you, man.
Okay.
Send me a
Okay.
doggone script to read. Let me show you my skills and see what I'm
Yeah.
working with now. We'll stand
Yeah.
there or something. The guy walking past the restaurant or something.
Definitely. But I'm super excited about creating my own and having this project, and in due time it's gonna happen, so you'll know about it, because you guys will be the exclusive in the first when it drop, and after we film and when it's
Hey.
coming out, you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm excited about that. But other than that, just follow me on all social media platforms, Actress Malika Blessing. And then I'm getting ready to head out to, is this live?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to head out to Battle Creek, Michigan, to Battle Creek High School, and I will be teaching a theater acting workshop to the high school students. So I'm really excited about that. So
That's big.
yeah, I leave tonight to do that. So I'm really excited about that.
As we close out, with so much going on in the world, we've touched on so many different things. So much, so we can just go on and on. But it's so
Yeah.
much going on in the world with wars and the state of the world that we're living in right now. So much chaos going on right now. Can you leave some words of inspiration for anybody that may be depressed or feeling like giving up on that dream, or just dealing with financial tough times or whatever, and just don't know what they're gonna do or whatever? Can you share some words of inspiration just to uplift and encourage people?
I would say to stay focused, stay grounded, know your purpose, know your purpose in life, and know that God has given everybody a gift. So wake up thinking about that gift and doing something every day towards that gift, writing out a manifestation letter of everything that you want to do, but do it in real time as if it's happening, and pray over it, or whatever you decide that you want to do. Seal it up, put it away, wait and see how what you accomplish in that year. I'm big on manifestation,
Hmm.
speaking things out to existence. You should have whatever you say. Stay inspired. Every day you should be doing something towards your career. Every single day. And those that are in acting, if it's researching, if it's reading, if it's watching movies, if it's whatever that is, you should be doing something every day towards your goal and your dream, and knowing that God gave it to you. You didn't ask for it. So if he gave it to you, you got to succeed at it. But you also have to make sure that you are in preparation and you are prepared and you're doing your research and you're studying and you're making sure that when that opportunity does come, that you're ready.
Amen. Listen, I just want to say thank you so much for blessing the show. And for me and my team, we just want to tell you that we love you so much. We're giving you your flowers, your
Thank you.
roses, man. Like, you know what I mean? And just continue doing what you're doing. Like, you definitely moving with purpose, and blessing so many people, man. You're such an inspiration. We thank you, and we definitely can't wait to have you back on the show again. Seriously, man, we really appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys, and just from day one of just making sure that I was happy with everything. And that means a lot when you go over and beyond and understand when you move in excellence. And everyone doesn't do that. So I appreciate you guys for just moving in excellence. And I'm just happy to be here and be a part, and I'm looking forward to the next time. So thank you.
Absolutely. We got that connection. You know, you once you do this show, you vibe family, you already know that already. So we got you. We all supporting you, everything that you have going on. So we just planted those seeds and all we fertilizing and growing them now. So that's it. We connected. So everything that you got going on, of course, you need to filter that stuff, send that stuff over, email that stuff over to us so Jewel can get that stuff over to people. We can get that stuff up on the website, promoted. We here to help and continue to elevate each other. So thank you
I
again.
appreciate that.
Um, Safe travels too as well. And good luck on going down there and wowing and inspiring those kids down there for real.
Thank you. Thank you so
It's the
much.
Vibe Show 97.9. Y'all already know how we do it. It is a wrap with the queen, the one and only Malika Blessing. Y'all, we are out. Shout out to everybody that was on, that pulled up on the live, man. Showed my special guest so much love. And shout out to all of the radio listeners out there, man. If you're commuting home from work or whatever you got going on, man, I hope that y'all have a blessed rest of your evening. Listen, we are out telling y'all more blessings to everybody out there. Continue to spread love, more love, less hate. Definitely makes the world a better place. It's the Vibe Show, and we are out of here. Peace and love.